Beloved soul, the long silence is over. A holy breaking point has been reached. The one who has waited for you has reached the end of their patience, not in despair, but in a divine eruption of love. Heaven has just released them from the season of waiting, and they are now moving toward you with a force that cannot be stopped. If you have felt a sudden, inexplicable urgency in your spirit, a sense that something long held is finally breaking open, this is your sign. Subscribe now, because what happens next will rewrite your story. When this word of holy acceleration resonates as truth in your soul, comment below and declare, "The shift is here." Your agreement partners with heaven's momentum. For those moved to support this channel of prophetic breakthrough, your super thanks helps us send this urgent confirmation to hearts on the verge of their miracle. Now stand ready. What you are about to hear is the detailed revelation of the love that can no longer be contained, and the divine movement that is already bringing it to your door. They waited, quietly, patiently, longer than they told anyone, longer than they even told themselves. They waited when it was hard. They waited when it didn't make sense. They waited through the silence, through the tears, through the confusion, through the whispers of doubt. They waited with faith. They waited with love. They waited with the hope that God would speak, that God would move, that heaven would align what their heart could no longer carry alone. But something just happened, and the angels are announcing it to you now. Their patience snapped, not in anger, not in fear, but in holy urgency, in divine boldness, in unstoppable love. They've reached the point of no return. Something inside them cried out, "I can't wait anymore. I need to say it. I need to move. I need to reach them before it's too late." This is not a threat. This is not rebellion. This is love, fully awakened, love, finally set on fire. They didn't plan to break the silence, but the silence began breaking them. They didn't want to move too soon, but now they realize they've already stayed too long. The wait was holy, but the shift is now sacred. Heaven has begun to move with them, because heaven has seen their tears, and God heard the whisper they finally released. "Father, I need to be with them. Let me show them how I feel. Let me express what I've been holding in. Let me give them the love I've prayed for." Angels are surrounding them now, encouraging their next step, empowering their movement, removing every block, lifting every fear, and revealing every truth. Their love is no longer hiding. It's about to show itself in a way that shocks you. It's about to confess something they swore they'd never say. It's about to reach out in a way you won't expect, and when it does, everything will shift. Heaven says, "This is the divine turning point." You've been sensing something, feeling the spiritual pressure, dreaming strange dreams, hearing your name in the spirit. And now you know why. Because their heart can't hold back anymore. And your spirit has already been prepared to receive it. You are not imagining this shift. You are not crazy for hoping again. You are not foolish for believing, because the Lord has heard both of your prayers, and the answer is coming through a bold move. Their heart is shaking, but their love is louder than their fear now. Their destiny is louder than their doubts. Their calling is louder than the clock. They don't care about who says what anymore. They care about getting to you, and they are coming. Yes, they are coming, even now, even when you can't see it. even when it doesn't make sense. Their soul has made the decision. Heaven has stamped it with yes. And the shift is here, a holy shift, a supernatural release, a divine acceleration. Their patience broke because their heart finally broke open. For you, because of you, with you, and now. You're about to see the signs. You're about to hear the words. You're about to experience what you've only dreamed about. Heaven says prepare, because when patience snaps, purpose erupts, miracles move, and love manifests. Right on time. If your spirit knows this is confirmation, type, "The shift is here," in the comments right now. Let heaven see your agreement. Tap like as your prophetic act of expectation and subscribe to angel messages for you so you never miss what heaven is releasing next. If this word reached your heart, seal it with a super thanks as a faith offering to what's coming. Their love is real, and it's not staying quiet anymore. Prepare, because your world is about to shift. The angels are still speaking. They are watching this moment unfold like a prophecy being fulfilled. They saw the way your soulmate stared at the ceiling last night. Unable to sleep, fighting back tears, holding a war inside their chest. They whispered your name into the darkness, not out loud, but in their spirit. They said it like a cry for peace, like a prayer they were too tired to form with words, and heaven heard it. Their patience didn't snap in anger, it snapped in surrender. They finally said to God, "Whatever it takes, I'll do it. I just want to love them. I just want to be near them. I just want to stop pretending I don't care." And the heavens responded. Because God always moves when surrender is real. That's why you felt different lately. That's why things feel heavy and holy at the same time. That's why your heart has been preparing, because their decision has been echoing in the spirit. You're connected in ways that no one else can explain. Your spirit felt it when theirs shifted. You felt it in your chest, in your breath, in the silence between your thoughts. And now, you're being prepared to receive what's about to be released. They're about to say something you never thought you'd hear. They're about to reach out with words they swore they'd never speak. They're about to do something you thought they were too afraid to do. And when they do, your healing will accelerate. Your joy will overflow. Your tears will finally make sense. Because this isn't just about a message, it's about movement, holy movement, and nothing can stop it now. Their heart has chosen you, and even if their mouth hasn't spoken it yet, their actions will start showing it. They might fumble, they might be awkward, they might hesitate in the flesh, but in the spirit, they are clear, crystal clear. God gave them a glimpse of who you are, and it shook them, it humbled them, it wrecked every wall they tried to build, because they saw what you carry. And it was too divine to ignore. You carry light, you carry faith, you carry favor, you carry the kind of love that doesn't demand but covers. You carry the anointing of one who's been crushed and still chooses love, and that made them fall deeper than they expected. Not because you tried to impress them, but because you reflected God to them. You were just being you, and it touched places they thought no one could reach. They saw the way you forgive. They saw the way you pray. They saw the way you don't give up. And even when they tried to stay away, they found themselves drawn back again and again. Because love like this doesn't die. It deepens, it awakens, it demands a response. And now, That response is coming. In a call, in a message, in a visit, in a confession. And it's going to shift everything. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for it. Because what God ordains doesn't need to be forced. It flows. And right now, it's flowing straight toward you, from their heart, from their spirit. And from the heavens, you've waited with grace. Now prepare to receive with open hands, because love is coming in full force, the kind that feels like home, the kind that heals what others broke, the kind that makes the pain worth it. Heaven says again, their patience snapped, and now their passion is rising, and nothing, not fear, not pride, not distance, not silence, nothing can stop what's about to be released. Get ready, because when the shift begins, it doesn't slow down. If you know this message is yours, type, "My shift has come," in the comments now. Let the angels record your faith. Like this video if your spirit is being stirred. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you, so you never miss these divine confirmations. And if this word is watering your soul, bless it back with a super thanks to honor what heaven is doing. This is not just a word, it's a divine announcement, and what you're about to feel will prove that it's real. The heavens are still open, the angels are still near, and your name is still being spoken in the courts of divine timing. They saw what happened in your spirit when you heard the words. They saw how you paused the video for a moment, how your eyes began to sting, how something inside of you whispered, "It's finally happening." That whisper wasn't your imagination. It was confirmation, a signal from the spirit realm, a nod from the one who's been watching you wait without complaining. The one who counted every night you cried quietly, every day you stayed faithful, every time you chose love instead of bitterness, every time you prayed for them, even when you didn't understand the silence. Heaven does not overlook that kind of love, because that's the kind of love that mirrors God. And now that love is calling your soulmate out of hiding. They can't run from this anymore, because what you carry is too real, too strong, too holy. You didn't chase them. You didn't manipulate anything. You didn't pressure them. You just loved. And your love started shifting their atmosphere. Your prayers started surrounding them when they slept. Your words echoed even when you weren't speaking. Your presence lingered even in your absence. Because your spirit carries weight. Heavenly weight. And now that weight is stirring their soul awake, they're not just missing you, they're realizing they need you. Not because they're weak, but because they finally see what strength really looks like. And they saw it in you. Not in your perfection, but in your persistence. Not in how loud you were, but in how faithful you stayed. They looked for a reason to walk away, but they couldn't find one, because every time they pulled back, love pulled harder. Every time they got quiet, the Holy Spirit spoke louder. Every time they doubted, God whispered your name in their heart. And now, that whisper has become a roar. They can't sleep. They can't pretend. They can't escape the truth anymore. Their patience snapped because the illusion shattered. They finally saw what was real. They finally realized that their delay was costing them their destiny, and heaven is now intervening, not to punish them, but to align them, because God is merciful like that. He will shake what needs to be shaken to wake up the one He's chosen for you. And now they are waking up. The fog is lifting. The confusion is breaking. The fear is bowing to revelation. And what's coming next will not look like the past. It will not feel like delay. It will not repeat the old cycle. Because God is doing a new thing. Right now, in them and in you. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? The new thing has begun." It may start with a message, a voice trembling with honesty, a confession filled with tears, or a gesture that says more than words ever could. Whatever form it takes, you'll know it because your soul has already felt it. You've already been sensing the stirring. That's not anxiety, it's awareness, spiritual awareness, a holy preparation, and now it's time to embrace it. Open your heart without fear. Don't rehearse the pain. Don't replay the delay. Don't rebuild the walls that God has already torn down. You are safe now, not because they're perfect, but because God is in this and He's guarding this love. The angels have been sent to guide it, to defend it, to accelerate it, and to make sure it reaches you in the right way, at the right time. And that time is sooner than you think. If you can feel it in your bones, comment, "I receive this shift with faith." Let the heavens see that you're ready. Tap like as your personal act of agreement with heaven's movement, and subscribe to angel messages for you. Because this isn't just a one-time message, this is the beginning of your new season. And if this word is breaking something open in your spirit, honor it with a super thanks to sow into what God is releasing. This isn't just information, this is a sacred invitation, and your yes is what activates the miracle. The shift has already started, even now. While you're listening, something is moving in the realm of the unseen. You may not see their footsteps yet, but their heart is already walking toward you. They're being pulled by something stronger than fear, stronger than delay, stronger than doubt. It's called divine urgency, and it's here now. Because heaven said, enough waiting, enough postponing love because of old pain. Enough hiding behind excuses, enough pretending they're not ready. They are, and that readiness is not their doing. It's heaven's. God allowed the pressure, so they could no longer ignore the truth. The pressure revealed what really matters. And it wasn't money. It wasn't fame. It wasn't perfection. It was you, your voice, your kindness, your soul, your prayers that covered them in seasons they never told you about. Your love that remained when everyone else left. That kind of love doesn't go unnoticed. Not by heaven, not by the soul it was meant for. They may have been distracted, but never disconnected. They may have wandered, but they never stopped feeling you, even from afar, even in silence, even in the distance. Your light kept shining, and now it's leading them back. To you, to what's real, to what's holy. Because this connection was never random. It was orchestrated, pre-written, heaven ordained. And you felt it all along. You knew this was bigger than chemistry, bigger than attraction. This was divine recognition. Soul to soul, spirit to spirit. And now that knowing is about to be confirmed, they are about to say something they never said before. Not because they're trying to impress you, but because they finally believe it, and they're willing to fight for it. They're ready to pursue it. They're about to ask you something you won't be able to refuse, because your spirit already said yes. Your prayers already aligned with this moment. And now the words are catching up with the revelation. You've been waiting, but heaven has been working. You've been praying, but the Spirit has been preparing. And the one meant for you, They've been tested, shaken, refined, and now they're being released. Released from fear, released from guilt, released from every lie that said they're not good enough. Released into the courage to love you fully, and soon you'll see the evidence. Not just words, but action. Not just promises, but presence. They're not coming to confuse you. They're coming to clarify what's been stirring all along. They'll tell you the truth. They'll open up the pages they were scared to let you read. They'll speak the words they rehearsed in silence. And when they do, your heart will remember that you knew this all along. You knew it was always going to come back to this moment. You felt it in the tears. You saw it in the dreams. You heard it in the whispers. And now it's becoming flesh, real, tangible, undeniable. And yes, it's going to shock you. Not because you didn't believe it could happen, but because it's happening now. Faster than expected, stronger than before, and nothing will stop it, because heaven has already said yes. Your spirit already agreed, and now your season is catching up with your faith. If this is your confirmation, type, "I embrace this love" boldly in the comments. Declare it out loud, claim it by faith. Tap like as a sign that your heart is in alignment, and subscribe to Angel Messages for you, because the angelic realm is releasing daily direction for this sacred journey. And if this word has touched your spirit deeply, honor it with a super thanks to support this divine message. You are not crazy for believing. You are always right to hope. And now, hope is about to knock on your door. You're not going to have to force anything. You won't need to chase this. You won't have to beg for it. What's meant for you is being drawn to you. By heaven, by truth, by love that never left. And now that their patience has snapped, now that their silence has shattered, now that their pride has bowed to divine urgency, they're going to show you what they've really carried in their heart. Tears may be involved. So will trembling. But it will be holy. Because what they're about to ask you is not light. It's not casual. It's covenant. They may start with a question, but heaven will turn it into a promise. They may begin with hesitation, but heaven will end it with boldness. They may look unsure, but they are being led by certainty from above. And when they look in your eyes, they'll see everything they prayed for, everything they tried to deny, everything they couldn't run from. They'll see you, the one who stayed in their spirit, the one who healed without touching, the one who kept showing up in their dreams. God has not only reminded them of you, God has shown them what life would look like without you, and it scared them. That's why they're coming now. That's why everything's about to shift. They realized they'd rather take the risk of looking foolish in love than live another day without you in their life. They're going to say things they never dared say before. They're going to make moves they once called impossible. And you're going to feel like heaven touched earth, because it did. The moment they say it, you'll know. The moment they reach out, you'll feel it. The moment their voice breaks, your heart will melt. Not because of the drama, but because of the divine recognition. They finally see you clearly. They finally choose you boldly. They finally embrace what God planted in their spirit long ago. And they are coming to ask. Ask for another chance. Ask to walk this out. Ask to love you as they were always meant to, and eventually, ask the question, the one that seals it all, the one that feels like forever. You'll be shocked at how clear it sounds. You'll be surprised by the way peace settles over your soul. Because it won't just be their voice speaking. It will be heaven echoing, angels singing, your destiny aligning, and your joy returning. This is why the warfare increased. This is why the delays felt unbearable. This is why you almost gave up. Because something this holy was on the other side. Something this glorious was being arranged. Something this beautiful couldn't be rushed. But it's here now, and no one can undo it. You were right to wait. You were right to hold on. You were right to believe. And now, beloved, the ask is coming. And when it does, heaven will rejoice with you. So type, "Heaven, I'm ready," in the comments. Tap like to show your agreement with the angels. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you right now, so you do not miss the next divine confirmation. And if your heart has been touched in a deep way today, leave a super thanks to bless this sacred word and sow into your journey. You are seen, you are known, and what's coming, you won't be able to refuse it, because heaven already said, yes. And now, you'll begin to notice. Every delay had meaning. Every silence was sacred. Every unanswered prayer was really a preparation. Because what your soulmate is about to say, what they're about to ask, will change your entire atmosphere. They've been praying behind closed doors, crying where no one saw, fighting thoughts of losing you forever. And now they're ready. Ready to risk it all. Ready to break every rule they made for themselves. Ready to say, I was wrong. Ready to whisper, I miss you. Ready to admit, you were right. Because the love they feel, it never died. It just got quiet. But quiet doesn't mean absent. It only means waiting for God's timing. And now the clock of heaven has struck. Now the trumpet of the Spirit is blowing. Now the doors are opening. Because this time, they're not walking away. They're walking toward you with trembling hands, with sacred words, with a confession that will melt walls. They're going to talk about the past. They're going to talk about the weight. But more importantly, they're going to talk about the future. Your future together. This is not imagination. This is manifestation. This is not a wish. This is heaven's will. They feel it now in their chest, in their bones, in their spirit. That urgency, that sacred stirring, that holy pressure to move, to reach, to return, to restore. They've realized something powerful. They would rather face rejection trying to love you than face a lifetime of regret pretending they didn't. That's why this shift is so big, because heaven is involved. The angels are guiding it. The Spirit is breathing on it, and you're being prepared to receive. You're being called to open your heart again, but this time with wisdom, this time with clarity, this time with heaven's discernment, because not only are they coming, they're coming to ask you for something only you can say yes to, a second chance, a sacred beginning, a divine forever. They'll tell you how long they've wanted this, how scared they were, how their heart wouldn't rest until they made it right. You'll feel the trembling in their voice, the fire in their spirit, the surrender in their tears, because this is not about ego anymore. This is about eternity. They're not trying to impress you. They're trying to honor the love they almost lost. So prepare. Prepare your heart. Prepare your spirit. Prepare your answer. Because soon they're going to ask you something holy. And your yes It will be the sound that sets heaven dancing. Type, "I am open to divine love" in the comments if you feel this confirmation today. Tap like to align your heart with heaven's will. Subscribe now to Angel Messages for you so you never miss the next part of your sacred journey. And if you feel this word has spoken directly to your soul, bless this channel with a super thanks and help carry the message to other waiting hearts. The shift has started. Get ready. What they're about to ask. You'll feel it before they say it. They've been pacing back and forth, holding their phone, rehearsing every word, hoping they don't mess it up, because this time they can't afford to. They've lost too much time already, too many nights of silence, too many mornings waking up to emptiness, too many what-ifs haunting their soul, and now they're done pretending they're fine, done acting like this isn't affecting them, done holding back the love that's been breaking through the walls of their heart. They're about to make a bold move, a move that requires courage they didn't have before, because something snapped in their spirit. The thought of you with someone else? It crushed them. The idea of you thinking they don't care, it haunted them. The vision of a life without you, it broke them, and they finally said, no more. No more fear, no more games, no more delays, because they now know if they don't come forward, they might lose you forever. And beloved, they can't bear that. So heaven sent an angel to stir them, to wake them, to remind them of the assignment tied to your connection. And suddenly, they felt the fire, the holy urgency,